Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Nhrl Race League Division 1 Season 6. First round of the season here at the Sakir International Circuit in Bahrain. Really glad to be back again for what actually feels like an eternity that's been going on for this league now, and still a few more good seasons yet to come. 13 drivers on the grid today, mix of Div 1 and a small handful of Div 2 reserves. Don't let your eyes deceive you at all in any way, because I do know where most of the guys are. Like, they are on holiday. It was just a little bit bad timing, but we do have a schedule to commit to, and a 13 car grid actually isn't too bad for Bahrain. We've had absolutely fantastic races around here before with even less. So let's have a look at the first car on track, which I believe is Feared by Gaming. Let's have a look at the circuit notes that I had. Right, Bahrain, race distance today will be 29 laps, around 3.3 miles or 5.4 kilometres. 90% rule will be of lap 27, so you need to start lap 27, and then that's when everyone will be able to qualify for points. Maximum tyre life for the tyres: softs 10 laps, mediums 15, the hards 19. It would be, I think the easiest strategy would be the medium to hards, but you wouldn't really want to be doing too many laps on them, because it's all really crucial around here. Unless if you did, like, mathematically the softs and the hards will do the race distance, but you really will be pushing the puncture territory, let alone if there is a safety car at any point in the first couple of laps. That's basically your strategy ruined already, unless if there is a safety car maybe about lap 20, and then everyone pits again and then goes on the soft. Let's run on board with Feared by Gaming for his lap of Bahrain. Turn 2 okay, a little bit squirmish coming out of turn 2, could have taken a lot more curb at turn 3. Which he uses on the entry, not too much, very stable, back end getting out ever slightly. Turn 5, quite deep. I wouldn't be surprised if he abandons his lap, to be fair. Obviously the purple sector coming through, being the only car setting the sector time. Rise over the crest down into turn 10. Let's get it right. Yeah, just about that. Not too bad on the brakes. We're running quite wide on the curb. We're down the DRS straight, using a lot more of the ERS as well, being in hot lap mode. Chucking it in, up the hill, and then see how we can negotiate the infamous curve of 13. Is it 12 or 13? I think it's 12. I really should have checked how many corners the circuit had. Down, well, I'd like to say the back straightaway, then to 14, then the very narrow kink of 15, as he powers up to the line. It is a 27.6 for Feared by Gaming, not a bad lap at all. So on board with one of the Mercedes TRT Cameron, the rebranded Cameron Dowds, hoping to smash it, and he does. That's a 126 flat, and his teammate pitting shortly behind him. That is a Red Bull of Echo Meister coming to the line, and set a time of a 26.9, 9 tenths off Cameron Dowds. And there is SMMX, no, who's that? Dean Phelan, sorry. Just coming across the starter lap, where's one of the, well, both rows, I think they've just started the lap. I've just seen Feared by Gaming, he's lost it going down the hill out of turn, well, going into turn 7. I think that is quite easily done. We'll stay on board with Hakim, and I'll try and give an explanation as to what has just happened. As you go through this corner, you want to carry as much speed, you turn it in too sharply, you get on a bit of curb, you don't even need to touch curb, and halfway down the hill, the rear end will just step out from underneath you, and you're just a passenger at that point. It's a little bit of silly physics with the game, but apparently that's how the F1 cars handle. I know they've had the floor cut away, but I don't see why a car with a little bit of its floor cut away would be insanely unstable. See, Hakim, those he attacks left-hander, then up the hill, left-hander again, right-hander. Does he negotiate the curb? Probably could have used it a little bit more. And then 13, not too bad. And then down the back straight into 14, how much entry curve does he use? Enough. A little bit hesitation on the throttle there. Can't imagine traction is the most friendly. And it is P4 for Hakim, 126.8. And the next car again is going to be Echo, but I think he'll be boxing. So let's run on board with, at the moment, the Division 2 favourite. The championship, still not 100% clear if Blue is going to be 100% committed. And if you're setting times like that when you're a few thousandths off pole, I think you might need to reconsider your options for the division you're racing in, mate, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. Alright, let's have a look at Resify. Still not set a time on the board, reigning Division 2 Constructor Champion. As most of these titles have now been taken away from TXS after last season. Yeah, newly promoted with his teammate, reigning Div 2 champion Hakim, currently sitting P5. Not a bad apex. I think so, I would be expecting the guys to be pushing the cars a little bit more, or at least in terms of their accuracy of the apexes. I feel like everyone is leaving at least half a second on half a second on the timing boards. Goes uphill. How does he negotiate 13? Well, looks like it's not even there. Sorry, I thought that was going to be invalid then. I know the track limits in this game aren't particularly favourable towards long-standing drivers. DRS Open to the line, and it is a 26.9. To be fair, guys, this is actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. The unsung hero of pre-season, George, and the McLaren finally setting a 126.8. I'm sure that he has a lot more time left on the table. Let's have a look at the Mercedes coming around again. I think Leroy, yeah, he will be the first, and has not got a time on the board yet. Mercedes still my favourite team at the moment to lead the constructors in the early stages, and that's a 24.8, well over a second quicker than Esmo Merxy, but that was on the soft tyre. Let's double check tyres everyone is on. Yeah, that was, I think shifters must know that is a pretty mediocre lap on the soft tyres. But even his teammate Dean Phelan opting for an alternate strategy at the moment, unless if the Alfa Romeo is carrying a lot more fuel, and I don't know, they might be saving the medium run until last. J Marsh to the line, P11. Well, that's actually disappointing. Hoping he's got enough fuel to go again. I say you are allowed to cut corners to try and get back to the pits quicker, but as long as you don't actually cause a collision with another driver, we're not too worried about that here at Nhrl. You're actually on a lap. Cameron, if he's pushing, if he's not on an in lap, oh, that is a flying lap. That's 9/10 up. He's chosen for the soft tyre. As I said, soft tyre in the race and only go about 10 laps, let alone of the quali laps you'll be doing, plus formation lap. You're basically guaranteed to stop if you're starting on the softs. But at the moment it's a Mercedes front row lockout, 124.7 there for Cameron. Barely just getting into the 27s as well. Is that shifters? Yes it is. Reigning Div 1 champion. I still can't believe we're now in season 6 of Nhrl. We have not had a repeat drivers champion. We've had repeat constructors, but no drivers won a driver's title here more than once. Just opening to 4. just see how much time shifters can actually find, like 4 attempts. I think most of that is just purely on corner exit, and he's invalid. He's going to be kicking himself for that. Yeah, it's kind of gut-wrenching for him. He knows he's got time on the table, let alone the fact he really does not want to be out-qualified by someone who only attended half the races last season, did Taze Leroy, but you're still able to keep himself in contention for the top 5. That shows how well Leroy is as a driver. Let's have a look if anyone else is on a lap. King David. I hope this isn't an outlap. No, it's not. It's actually a time lapse. So it's stay on board with the Alpine driver. Up into turn 4. A little bit wide. Might compromise his exit a bit. See how much he's... I don't know. It's almost like a exploration lap of seeing how the car is going to handle. You don't really want to be doing your race practice though in qualifying, especially when we've only got 6.5 minutes left. Just hope for his sake that he's got enough time and fuel and tyres to set a representative time, because King David, he is actually a very, very good driver. Up the hill, that apex is fairly clean. It's a very steady lap. I'm not expecting it to be the quickest at all, especially if that's going to happen. Yeah, rear end on the Alpine definitely needs a little bit more, would you say, stiffer anti-roll bar? Or would it need to give way more? Either way, the rear end of that Alpine is being overloaded for the high-speed right-hander. But to line, it is a 27.9, P11, still time to be found, and that's Aston Martin off the road. I think that'll be blue. And indeed it is, ruining those set of softs. So he can continue the turn 10 hairpin, sort of hairpin corner. Right, Joe's open, left-hander up the hill, decent amount of curb. Could use a little bit more on the exit. Barely getting through there without overloading the car. You see the rear end was just about to snap. So negotiates 14 and 15. Perfect amount of entry, mid. Maybe a little bit more on the exit curb. And that is how you box. Oh, someone else has lost it. Is that David? Yes, it is. Going for a spin up the hill. Don't know if he touched the curb or not, but you don't want to ruin those set of mediums more than they already are. Might even be worth King David at this moment to box car and try and go for a set of softs. One of the Ferraris coming through, that is Resfi up into P4. Thinking he has a better chance than the soft tyres, 25.5. Who else will be on the lap? Mercedes on out lap. Is that a Red Bull? Yeah, that is Echo. It's a very poorly sounding Red Bull. I think King David has opted to... I hope the car hasn't retired on track. Echo choosing to box. Let's have a look, like Merxy all the way down in P7. He's really going to be struggling. Yeah, Echo choosing to call it a day. Only about 2 minutes left. Shifter's only just getting ready for another lap, and I believe that's going to be Rezify in the box to retire the car. Well, in the meantime though, Cameron's still finding a lot more time in the Mercedes. Definitely ramping up the pressure down there at Mercedes as well. They know what's on offer, and Shifters has retired the car. Looks like not by choice, has binned it in the barrier at turn 7. That's even quicker than for Cameron on 24.7, barely just improving on his previous lap time, but an improvement nonetheless. Right, let's have a look at Leroy, the only person who could take pole off his teammate. I'm trying to pay attention to Blue as well, but I don't know if he's pushing on a lap as of yet. Right above him as he goes through the final corner. He is up in his time marginally, apparently. Doesn't improve his position. It's P6 for the Aston Martin. You're really aggressive into the final corner to the line. Can he take pole off his teammate? 24.7 the time to beat. It's a 24.6. It's kind of job done really. Apparently quali is over. Not sure if Dean is improving on his time or not. I didn't see the time at this sector split. No, he's definitely not pushing. So you're allowed to retire on track and qualifying, just not in the race. A fairly clean quali as well. Glad to see track limits are being now respected, but it's pole position for Taze Leroy for Mercedes and his teammate alongside for the Mercedes front row lockout, Cameron P2, and about half a second back Dean Phelan P3 for Alfa Romeo. Love that username, Cameron's dad, in the comment section. what shenanigans are going to hold us for the first round of the season. Yeah, it's also the first time in Nhrl history where the open race hasn't been in Australia. I'm trying to get the better camera angle, I don't know why it's... There we go. Right, the full grid rundown then. Nhrl pole position for Mercedes teammate Cameron Dowds alongside in P2. Dean Phelan P3 on his Nhrl debut for Alfa Romeo and Division 2 promotee. Rezafai P4 for Ferrari ahead of other Division 2 guy who got promoted. Echo P5 for Aston Martin. Blue reserving here today for Aston Martin, starts P6. Reigning champion Shifters Merckx start in P7 ahead of reigning Div 2 champion Hakim P8 for Ferrari. George P9 in the McLaren. I think maybe that pace he showed in pre-season was a little bit of a fluke. But Fed by Gaming reserving for the Alpine today, starting P10, out qualifying his full-time Div 1 teammate King David P11. Jay Marsh starts P12 in the Sister McLaren ahead of Matthew P at P13, filling in for Williams today. And we're so glad to see MDJ and Ninja to come back next week for China. So quick look at the tyres as well. Oh, top 6 all on the soft, everyone else on the mediums. Maybe it was the master's strategy all along from Shifters. Maybe it might still pay off. Need to run board and Mateo, see where the rest of the grid are going to form up. Yep, AI has taken the car over as Leroy just slowly grinds to a halt in his pit box. Hopefully they shouldn't be waiting too long. Just waiting patiently for the lights. Right, it's going to be more mad than Harambe with the hockey stick. It's Nhrl Season 6. And lights out and away we go in Bahrain. Good start from the Mercedes pair. Leroy already choosing to cover off his teammate. That's a good start there from Red Bull as well. The two Alpines fighting in the back. See, turn on, that's a diving Alpine. Don't know which one was that. That was King David. I think, yeah. Oh my god. Williams. A little bit of messy turn on. Up into the hill though. Dean Phelan actually getting past Cameron. Using a better ground. No, they actually will to wheel, and there's more cars running off the track. I have to jump back on board with that fight in just a second. Everyone is still getting away perfectly fine. Tight hairpin of 8 and then down the hill into the turn 12 hairpin thingy, whatever it is. If it even is turn 12, I can't, because there's a corner there that isn't actually classified as a corner. But I know there's 15 corners around the circuit. Just riding board with the Alfa Romeo is Leroy is off. He's already driving on the way to Mars. But what's Dean going to do? Is there a spinner? There is. It looks like a bit of a collision almost on the Alfa Romeo. That would have been Shifters running wide. That's favored by Gaming all the way down the back of the field now. Have a look at Echo as well because he's making moves in the midfield. The soft tyres should be benefiting the Red Bull more than the Alfa Romeo. It needs to come into the box. One change needed down at Red Bull. There's still fighting going on here. Rezafai wheel to wheel with George. Come on, give me a better angle than that. There we go. Rezafai being... I don't know if he was pushed off. It didn't seem too aggressive from the McLaren. Got Matteo behind. Trying to make moves as well. Matteo actually almost keeping pace with Rezafai. That's good stuff. No, bad exit out of 7. George has got away by a few car lengths. There's even more changes. I think Matteo must have added to your position to J Marsh. No reason why he would have done less if it was maybe an illegal overtake of some kind. But Hakim right behind the back of the Williams. To the right-hander going up the hill. Into the curve that's already seen one driver spin around today. Just hope for their sake it doesn't cause any crashes. We're getting away quite cleanly. I say that cleanly. Fed by Gaming has fallen victim to the curb. VSC, wouldn't be surprised if that then turns into a full safety car. Small opportunity here for the soft runners to get off the tyres and onto the hards, maybe pit for mediums, but at this really early stage, might even be worth just staying out on the soft, so it'd be interesting to see where Reservoir can come out. Yeah, no other cars involved here by Gaming, using it all by himself. Hasn't turned into a full safety car, so I think this is a legitimate VSC. Hopefully that Alpine would have ended up outside of the confines of the circuit. Not circuit, well, out of the white lines. VSC surely ending because they're finding a little bit more pace on the Delta. I just beg that no one ends up having to drive through. God forbid anyone down at the back of the grid. Right, VSC over green flag racing again, and Cameron is sort of stagnant away. He's not really gained anything. He's not really pulling away. He hasn't lost any ground to the Alfa Romeo. As his teammate Shifter's still trying to catch back up to King David. King David, by the way, has had an absolutely amazing start, starting down from P11. Is already within a 4-car fight for the win. You're going to have to see whose tyres actually hold on, but the top 3, they're all on the softs. King David can sort of take his time. Maybe let the top 3 fight and let the race win come to you. Don't make life difficult for yourself, man. Oh, that's a Ferrari off. Oh, which one's that? That is Hakim. I would see Hakim making those sort of mistakes. The car is fine, front wing intact. Oh, Reservoir and Echo fighting for the final point position. I'd say I'm actually really loving the helmets as well, guys. I don't know if they're like stock setups for the helmets, but you got really good designs on them this year. Better than mine, to be fair. Not a lot Reservoir can do unless we can make a move under DRS. Echo kicking up a little bit of curb. Reservoir squirming a bit on traction, but overtaking DRS. He is catching. Will he overtake? It's going to be wheel to wheel. Just dives up the inside. Good move, but Echo does have room to fight back. Yeah, lifting from both drivers who just want to get around that corner. Oh, Echo with a hell of a drive. But who's going to be getting DRS at the detection zone? Ah, cheeky. What they're doing. So Reservoir knows that he's going to be vulnerable again. So put the DRS on the overtake, and as easy as you like. Echo back in front. I don't actually know who... Oh, good power slide from a pair of them. I don't know who was ahead going into that second DRS. Yeah, it was Reservoir. And there is Matteo who's binned it going down the hill of turn 7. And Echo finding a little bit of breathing space now to reservoir. Let's head back up to the front. Specifically the top two Mercedes. Are they going to try and work together, or maybe team orders being called this early at the start of the season? I know Cameron's not going to let it go lightly, even though he's got as much time to grow with league racing experience as anyone, but I also know that he wants the win more than anyone else on the grid. Yeah, DRS and Leroy not really fighting it, and I think rightly so. Maybe trying to give each other a bit of a tow, because any screw-ups from either Mercedes, worst case scenario, they're not even going to finish on the podium, because I can see Shifters is catching back up again in P5. Just run board with Dean Phelan. See if those softs have got any life left in them at all. I think for the race as well, I expect them to be in lap 7 or lap 8. You can see Merksy on the mediums. He's already taken 2 tenths out of the barely even started the sector. So they are coming. King David is coming as well. Let's have a look down at McLaren land, see how these two are getting on. Big box standard really, not bad points all at all for McLaren P6, P7 at the moment. Of course they're going to want more. Being on the mediums, they could get more, but they might need to drive a little bit faster to their relative competition. Another look at Echo and Reservoir, fight for P9 as it is now. Dean is actually boxed. Yep, those softs are basically dead. I'd like to try and see what tyres he comes out on. Oh, blue! The only way you would have lost it there is if he's actually clipped the inside curve. It's a very bizarre place, I don't know, maybe it's because the car's pirouetted all the way round. I don't know if he ran a bit wide, if he just got a bit too greedy on the throttle, but either way, that's a full safety car. That's an absolute nightmare now for Mercedes, because they have to double stack. Even if one car stays out, I think Cameron would rather join in, let's say, P6 instead of P11. So down to the pits, Echo in. That is... what tyres is that? The hards. They're all going on the hards. I would say maybe something could be gained out of this, but they've all got a delta to stick to. Team Phelan though, he's going to be loving life because everyone in front of him is still going to have to box. But again, I don't know how much he's going to gain from it, because he came to the pits when the safety car came out. So he's going to be restricted on delta as to how much advantage he can gain. Yeah, the two Mercedes, they both had to kind of give each other space a little bit. Let's see if Leroy can clear the garage in time for his teammate. And they don't. He's only had to wait a couple of seconds, but hopefully they're not going to be waiting too long before the McLarens come down the pit lane. And he's got out. Absolutely brilliant choreography there from the Mercedes team. How much is he going to lose by? King David and Shifters. David actually going on the no, he was, yeah, King David on the softs. So maybe another advantage, and I won't put it past King David if he's actually got another set of mediums ready. That'll be a healthy strategy call for him. Everyone on the hards, they're still going to be pushing it, unless if they really look after the tyres behind the safety car. Let's have a look what I said for the... yeah, maximum tyre life of every tyre. Softs 10 laps, mediums 15, hards 19. Any more than that, let's say if you start your 20th lap on the hards, they will puncture. Obviously they could give away any time before that, so I'm not actually 100% confident that the hards are going to make it to the end. Maybe King David's got the winning strategy if he plans on going on the mediums. But yet again, all of the hard runners at the moment are open for a soft stint. While we're behind safety car, let's have a look at biggest winners and losers since the start of the race. Obviously, biggest winner King David up 8 places. Biggest loser at the moment, Res 5 down 7. Got a lot of time to be clawed back in that Ferrari. I know safety car's only been out for like a couple of laps, but this is feeling quite long. Yeah, actual heartbreak for Blue. I was hoping he'd have a little bit more of a clean race almost. See what he could have done for the Aston Martin team, but 0 points for them this week. Maybe better luck next time in China if he does decide to tag along, even if there's a seat open. Let's have a look at penalties. No, everyone really clean on pens. And guys in the comment section, let me know if you're rooting for anyone in the race today. I'll try and give them a little bit more race time so you can watch them if you like. How about this, viewers? Let me know who you think the top 3 are going to be. Personal pick, I would say a Mercedes for the win, and King David P2. I don't know, I've got this gut feeling something's going to go horribly wrong for Dean Phelan. I'm really sorry to say that. I think I actually wouldn't put it past either Ferrari managing to get onto the grid. The podium as well. You can carry for P1, of course. Right, safety car coming in. You see a lot of weaving. It's just on this game you need a lot of friction going through the tyres. It's very difficult to maintain tyre temp, let alone actually get any heat into the tyres, and you'll find the hard tyres you have to work them the most. Let's have a look at Leroy whenever he does decide to go, and he's gone. I wouldn't really say he's caught Dean Phelan napping, but enough of a reaction time to pull a few car lengths, as King David now getting the double toe from the both of them. And on the soft tyres, is he going to go for a move for the lead? Yes, he is. Down the inside into turn 1. Gets the car stopped in time before the apex and the track limits, and he's still got Leroy around his outside. Leroy pulling away even on the medium tyre. King David still will tour, he's still there. Lee knows he's there. King David trying to cut him off. Back to the outside, there's Ferrari being spun around, that's Hakim. Leroy proving he's still in control of the race. Cameron though managing to get past Dean Phelan after his little I don't know if there was a moment at turn 1, but those hards were not switched on. He's still falling back. He's actually under attack from the other one of the McLarens. Oh, there's still wheel to wheel, and I can't take my eyes off these two. King David and Taze Leroy. Round one of the most dangerous curves of the entire calendar. And they've made it through. All but one, that's Matteo. Williams back down in P11. Hopefully he's still going. We'll just double check if he's okay. Left end plate. Yep, that car's fine. Right, back to the front. Leroy is still inches away from the diffuser of the Alpine. Cameron staying in contention as well. Chucking it in the turn 2 apex. Managing the balance for turn 3. And David going extremely defensive on his way into turn 4. It's proving the pace of soft tyres, but Mercedes pair need not to worry. Those softs will fall off eventually. Oh, that's way too much curb, Cameron. Down to the hairpin who can get the better exit here. Looks like they've both got a half decent exit. King David's still pulling away predictably, unless if I hope they're still this close when DRS is enabled again. But while they're doing that, I'm going to have a quick look down to Reservoir, because he is catching J Marsh and Echo. Echo and Reservoir already coming wheel to wheel more than once at some point in this race. Future DRS train in the making. Right, let's head back up with these two. I think it's for Leroy. He's very conservative on his DRS. King David slightly less. I think that's from the exit he had out of the final corner. But hey, it's enough. He had to be careful there. He nearly lost all of his momentum coming out of turn 2. And then some. Is he going to try a bit of switchback? He is. The gap is there. The hell of a drive there coming from the Mercedes. King David has to lift. He's going to be under attack from Cameron. That is a Reservoir. He's span coming out of turn 4. Come on, guys, give each other good space. Cameron just had to lift out. Playing it safe, man. Right, DRS and overtake. Mercedes apparently really have to work together now. Outside they could still lose everything. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen? George could end up on the podium. The absolute horror show for Mercedes, not for McLaren. I think if either of them got on the podium here today, they're going to be singing into the night. Leroy, despite the harder compound, is still managing to get better exits out of the corners than King David. Don't know if he's feeling a bit of the pressure, but the DRS now open on the Alpine, the overtake. I think Leroy knows he can't really fight that. It depends now which one of these two was ahead in that other detection zone. Was it King David? No, it was Leroy. Both Mercedes now with DRS open. Straights just aren't long enough for them on this occasion. Chuck in 5, 6, 7, hairpin of 8. Both Mercedes still fending off Dean Phelan and George. Wouldn't really say through any wheel-to-wheel action, but they've definitely earned themselves these positions. But my worry now for King David is one of those softs going to fall off. I know a complete fresh set. He did start on the he did start on the medium, so there'll be a race set. Can push them to 10 laps. Nose to tail throughout the final corner. DRS open again. This is where some action is going to start happening. King David just a sitting duck now. Is he going to get swamped by both Mercedes? This might have to. He has to fight with Cameron. Coming around the outside of turn 1. And that's the move done. King David losing 2 positions down the straight, but he will have DRS again. Don't know if he's going to be able to fight Cameron. Definitely not Leroy. They've got enough space. Switchback not there for the Alpine. And I think those softs are slowly starting to struggle. Yeah, 5 laps. They're not going to be at the best. He's got maybe a lap or 2 left before they really start falling off the cliff. It's good, really good racing though. King David's still proving his worth. I do want to head back down as well with George. So believe it or not, George is still in contention for the podium. He's matching pace quite comfortably to Dean Valen. I think the only reason he's not got past him is because it's a bit of a DRS train. As you can tell by them trying to use as much overtake it as they have been. But then they just cancel each other out down the straights. So I've looked at these two. I think David is just about too far back to mount any sort of attack. He's going to have a look anyway, but he knows he can't make anything into turn 1. He's still going to give Cameron a hard time though. No, just no space there, nowhere to go into turn 4. Oh. J Marsh and Echo. Oh, to a coming out of turn 4, there is contact. Don't know if that would have been barge board or side pod damage. See if Echo, with what little ERS he has left, can he retake the position from the McLaren? His battery just dies before the end of the straight. He's going to go for the move anyway. It's a little bit of desperation there from the Red Bull. J Marsh, he is going to see that red light flashing. No reason at all why J Marsh can't get that position back down the main straight. About 4 tenths the gap. Yeah, I think straight's long enough. He is going to try and go defensive. J Marsh not even really needing his overtake, just DRS alone is enough to clear the Red Bull. But will he keep it into turn 4? Still stick with them. Just going very defensive, then cutting back across in front of him. Bit of IndyCar-like defending there, trying to break the toe. Which he is allowed to do, he just can't do it in the braking zone. Echo just trying to hold on to his hards and hope the mediums fall off the McLaren at some point. Again, McLaren's still climbing up the order, P5, P6. They've definitely made improvements from when they started. Yeah, up 4 and 6 positions. Really good race from the McLarens. Still lifting there from Echo. Not a lot of confidence, well, maybe the cars are still a bit too heavy to be trying to take that corner flat out. And Reservoir with the first of the 3-second penalties to come in. I'm amazed that on lap 16 they've only just had one come in now, so good consistency, guys. Gonna have to head back up the front because the Mercedes pair are starting to trade places again. Need to work together almost to cover off any other attack. I think King David is done. Those tyres are not going to carry him to the end. However, if he can push them a little bit further, I don't know, he might, only just might, make him to the end if he chooses to pit for the softs again. He can pit for the mediums now and he'll burn through them as quickly as he likes. Failing that, another safety car wouldn't hurt them either. But Dean failing now, even on his hard tyres, is half a second behind the Alpine. George has backed off quite a bit as well. Don't know if his tyres yeah, I think the mediums are suffering from graining. Not even graining, just outright wear at this point. Yellow flag. Probably Matt or Merksy running off the track. I can't believe this though. I'd love to try and have a word with Merksy about his race, of why he is in P10. Right, King David, his ERS has gone. Dean Phelan trying to go around the outside to turn 1. King David's just going to have no grip left on traction, but he's still got enough left. That's a hell of a launch. DRS open as well. Loses a position, he gets it back within a few seconds. But anyone who can see the tyre difference knows that it's a lost cause at this point. Oh no, J Marsh and Echo. Not great to see a car go around. I didn't catch who could have been in the wrong there. If any of them want to report that to the stewards, you've got 24 hours after the race, the deadline to submit any footage. Hopefully there's not going to be too much to look at. This has been a relatively clean race. Dean diving it down the inside of King David, trying to park the bus, making him slow down. Oh no, you can see those softs on the Alpine have gone. Dean Phelan's rear end still problematic in the back of the Alfa Romeo as well. I don't care if he says if he feels like it's fine. There's something not quite right with the Alfa Romeo. Another while, the Mercedes pair are just shooting off down the road. I think they know they've done it. It's still not guaranteed unless you cross the line. King David DRS, whatever little ERS he has left as well. Oh my god, man. That's like wheel driver saving there. I'm pretty sure King David is on a pad. Yeah, he is. That's really good car control. I'd take P4 than the DNF any day. There is country trying for King David now. So softs aren't going to carry him to the end. Like, how much time does he give up to the McLarens behind, or maybe even Echo? Is that Matthew? Just gone for a spin. Exit at turn 3. So I'm just trying to see if the car is okay. I think it is. Just went for a trip around. Yeah, the car is okay. Yeah, George now attacking King David. Those softs are done. King David just boxed, man. God. Still open for another soft stint. And it is another set of softs. Fresh shiny tyres on the Alpine. Where is he going to come out? Guaranteed P9, but with how much pace he's got, I think he can get back up to the top 5 and give the McLarens a hard time. He's got 10 laps to do it. Yellow flag, no, is that Dean? Yeah, that's Dean Phelan who's gone off. Miracle he's kept that car at the barrier. That's George now up into P3. Check the tyres. Yeah, medium guys should be okay if they've gone this far. At the same time, I don't know. Might have to conserve a little bit. And they've got the gap to. It depends how much they're willing to give up to George. I mean it. George is no pushover. The two Ferraris, I think Reservoir just got past Hacken. Yeah, shame for King David. I really wanted him to finish a lot higher up than he probably will do today. Unless there is another safety car inevitably. I don't want to say hopefully because I find that a little bit disrespectful. But it'll make the racing a hell of a lot more interesting because they're all in the little like, what's the word? Teammate fights almost. Reservoir's got barely any battery left. Now the Mercedes is working together to maintain whatever gap they've got, and I think they're actually pulling away from George. 7, 5, 6. Yep. Mercedes still pulling away. King David 3-second penalty. Could be the final nail in the coffin for any hiding P5 finish. I said back up with the race leaders, because there will become a time when they can get a bit more comfortable and they can get a little bit more racy with each other. It depends who or what gets the track position. I'm sure we're going to see a very respectful fight between the pair of them. And it starts now. Cameron braking quite early. Well, it's George in the pit. George has box, they're going for the softs. Maybe the mediums can't go to the end. Res 5-second penalty. I say even the hards, I knew the hards would be pushing it to the end. Sure, I think they can still go a little bit longer, it's just the drivers don't want to, there's just no pace left on them. Well, I guess it won't hurt Reservoir either for trying to go for the fastest lap. Speaking of that, let's have a look. That's like currently King David 128.2. As long as that lap is invalid, we'll find out when the lap was set and if there was any warnings gained on that fastest lap. Remember, most fastest laps throughout the season in Nhrl, 20 quid and a trophy up for grabs. Start lap 23. 7 laps left. Yeah, these two really have to work together now. J Marsh in the pits. Yeah, I still really doubt those mediums are going to make it. I think if any people could make it. King David again going for the fastest lap. These guys, maybe he will actually finish in the top 5. Depends where the rest of them are. Mercedes pair have also got one good lap left in them. I mean, these helmets are absolute quality as well. I'm sure they will. I really want Mercedes to start fighting a bit more, but they're a bit too nicey with each other. Surely this can't last all season. Yeah, come on, start trading places. I bet they, I don't know if they're trying to save the ERS. Like, I don't know if this is coordinated between the pair of them. I'd expect it to be, since they are teammates. George had the fastest lap, 27.4. I know that's about half a second quicker than King David, I think. Speaking of King David, we'll head back down with him momentarily. He is about to catch the Ferrari. Reservoir 26.8. Oh, lap times are tumbling now. No, still not a lot going on between these two. I want to see Will Tool stuff down the main straight, otherwise I'm going to be very disappointed. No reason Lee can't even give Cameron a hard time anyway, he's got much more ERS than him. Unless if this is part of the plan, he's just going to wait until like lap 27 and screw his teammate over. Cameron, don't just give him the position. Anyway, let's head back down with King David, now within DRS range of the Ferrari. Yeah, Hakim's battery's gone. King David got a little bit left. Bear in mind, if King David wants the P5 position, he has to clear 3 seconds worth. Some think it's impossible. Echo don't think he's going to box, so David can still catch Echo. Maybe P4 up for grabs. But he's got the pace to stay in P5. Whether he will or not, I don't know. It just depends how much he can clear that Ferrari. And I'm expecting it to be fairly sharpish. It's probably like, I don't know, 3/10 almost every corner. But I hope for his sake, because King David's actually drove really well today. Starting like, what, P11? He was fighting for a podium for most of the race. Oh, VSC, who's that? Didn't see anything happen. Oh, Hakim! 5-second penalty for pit lane speeding. Sure, that's a wing change. I don't know if anyone's maybe lost the wing down the main straight. It's very odd, and it will help the Mercedes out trying to save their tyres. Dean! Now, that's actually quite unfair. He was coming out the pits. Has King David gone for a new set? Yeah, he has. Everyone behind has gone for a new set of softs. Best thing King David could have done is just stayed out. So I think he's cost himself maybe 2-3 positions. And Echo, out of all people, is now in P3. But George still chasing him down. Yeah, Mercedes pair started lap 27, so top 10 will all get points now. The 3 laps for George to try and overtake Echo. See if those tyres do have the life for it. They do. He's got hardly any battery, like, at all, same as Echo. They both really want that podium. Yeah, Dean serving his drive-through. I think that is really unfair. You come out the pits, you're told to get back up to racing speed, but then doing so you glitch through the delta somehow. Very, very unfair. I have to think round board with the Mercedes now, because they're both starting to gun it a little bit. And a bit too nicey between these pair. Obviously both of them really going for it for the final couple of laps. Maybe a last lap heroic from Cameron. He's trying to make something happen. But I don't know if that's because they're both basically coasting, or if he's just... Don't be nice, I want to see what bloody carbon fibre going everywhere. And there we go, there's the puncture. Cameron's got a front left puncture. That's going to be... Yeah, panic mode. Yeah, they're pushing mediums way past the deadline. You think Leroy will be pushing it as well. Both Mercedes get a puncture on the final lap. Well, I was wondering why they weren't fighting, and that's Cameron round. Saved out the barrier. So I think maybe worst case scenario, and McLaren could win. It could happen. They've asked too much of the mediums. And Lee's still going. I think Lee is going to try and do Lewis Hamilton to finish the race on one tyre. Cameron is literally going to finish the race with a puncture. I guess what option did they have really? Echo is 12 seconds behind. They've got George on a still relatively fresh set of softs. I mean it, George could actually win this race if it goes bad enough for the Mercedes. I think Echo, George, so they're having their own little fight, but there's huge gains to be had just down the road. Dean Phelan fastest lap, good redemption after the drive-through. See if George is going to make a move. I'm going to have to ride back on board with Leroy momentarily. Yeah, this Mercedes seems to be okay on its tyres. The other one is driving wounded. You can see them just in the background. They're heading up the hill now. Cameron still could get P2. It's going to be really close, but his teammate managed only just bringing the car home. Taze Leroy takes the opening win of season 6. Cameron Dowd, last lap, has he got enough of a gap? I think he has. He's driven a lap and a half with a puncture. It's P2 with Cameron Dowd. 1-2 for Mercedes, and they both barely had a puncture. And it's Echo for P3, fending off George and McLaren for P4. Esma Merksy P5, J Marsh P6, King David's penalty dropping down to P7. Yeah, Hakim with a 5-second unserved. Yeah, Hakim's still 8th, Rezify P9. I think what could have been for Ferrari, I think both drivers left a lot of time on the table. Dean Phelan going to come across the line P10, hopefully to secure the fastest lap as well. And just waiting for Matteo. No points on offer for the Williams reserve today, but still made it to the end nonetheless. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in the history of the league. What a way to start the season, honestly. Really, really good driving. Good car control as well. Jay Marsh being awarded driver of the day for possibly the most positions gained. I think rightly so. And both McLarens actually having a really good race today. Let's have a quick look at the race director. Yeah, fairly clean race, guys. Really good going. I think the only thing I have to say was that like J Marsh Echo sort of spin, and then if anything happened down at turn 1, but I think all of you give yourselves a pat on the back today. Right, the full grid result then. T0 P1 for Mercedes ahead of his teammate Karen. 1-2 for Mercedes. First round of the season. Echo Meister P3 for Red Bull. George P4 for McLaren. SMM Merxy P5 for Alfa Romeo. J Marsh P6 and the other McLaren. King David bringing it home. P7 for Alpine. Maybe if he wouldn't have pitted when he did, could have been a little bit more. Hacking P8 for Ferrari. P9 for Razafai in the sister Ferrari. Dean Phelan rounding out top 10 for Alfa Romeo, taking the fastest lap as well. Matteo bringing it home P11 for Williams, and your DNFs were Blue and Fid by Gaming. If you can bear with me, I'm going to try and get the guys in for... I'm still here, don't worry. Yeah, guys, podium interviews, please make your way here sharpish. There's Cameron. And there we go. Just double check your voices are set to share, guys.
Mine is for sure. I've already checked
Mine
it.
is.
Yeah, mine as well.
If you don't mind, I'm going to try and start this as quick as I can. Echo P3, not too bad.
Hello.
Considering the lack of sleep I think both of us have had.
Yeah, I mean, I put into the Discord chat traditions. You know, I finished Div 2 season well and somehow carried it over to Div 1. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to get podium. But it got to that point where I just had to risk it, you know. I ended up staying on the hard. I think it's like, how many laps would it have been? About 20 something laps. Front left was on 73%, so that was this being the puncture there. And I had George behind me right at the end, so I had to defend.
Was there any pressure from George? Because he was on the softs and he still had a fair amount of life left in them. I think for George, he just ran out of laps, to be honest.
Yeah, I think one more lap in, for sure he would have got me. But yeah, that last lap, blimey. I don't think I blinked or breathed that entire lap. Because not only was I having to worry about being overtaken, I had to worry about my tyres. And yeah, I'm just glad that the race is over, to be fair.
No, you drove well though. But next week, China, how are your thoughts?
Yeah, not looking forward to it.
Not looking forward to it, it's alright.
No, it's not. It really isn't. There's something about, especially the long right hander going through the main straight. You either understeer, which means you go off, or if you try and go a little bit lower, there's bumps there that will send you spinning. That track is unforgiving, it is horrible, and I think it's probably the worst track on the season, and bear in mind there's Monaco this year. And it doesn't help that, you know, the handling model is not right, and we've still got to wait until October for the new handling model, so yeah, not going to be fun.
Well, good drive today though anyway, I mean that, like, this look at the draw really, especially with the safety cars P3, be proud of that. Then Cameron, P2, only just.
Yeah.
I think the tyres were, no one's able to say that your tyres are dead unless if something like that happens to you, but we'll get on to the puncture in a moment, but your race as a whole, how was it? Especially with the little bit of inter-team rivalry with your teammate, but also trying to fend off King David as a team in the mid-stages of the race.
Yeah, it was quite hard in the opening stages because me and Lee were just trying to build a gap. Because we were trying to be quite sensible, just to get a gap, then we could fight. But we both, from our other leagues, PSGL, we didn't really want to fight because we knew if someone was within DRS on the last lap, then they would probably get past and be able to win the race. So we were both just trying to sit behind each other, harvesting our ERS and trying to stay within each other's DRS. But yeah, it was quite hard holding off King David and can't remember who was it.
Dean?
Schefter's teammate. Yeah, Dean. He was quite quick, and then me and Lee both thought the mediums would be okay because usually you can do a one stop from lap 10, and because there was that safety car on lap 7, we thought yeah, it should be fine. But then as my tyre hit 75%, it just went, and it was a very close call between going for pitting or staying out, and it was make or break, but I just thought may as well stay out. And going through the fast right-hander, I almost lost it, but yeah, overall good race, and yeah, I'll just keep my head down and on to the next one, I guess.
Just a quick one about the tyre blown out. You thought when it actually happened, did you felt like you had to pit, or maybe did you think you had the gap to, you felt the car was still drivable?
When I went to that fast right-hander, I'll probably put it into the Discord after, I almost completely lost it, because the car completely went. I was like, nah, I'm going to have to pit, but I guess just driver instinct told me to stay out, and it worked out, I guess.
Well, like I said, I've not seen anything like that in the history of the league before. Might have been P2, but bloody take it, man. It could have been so much worse. Yeah. Be proud of that.
Yeah.
And move on to the winner then, Nhrl. First of all, really well done. I can only really echo the same questions to Cameron. Your thoughts of driving as a team? Because I was expecting you guys to fight a bit more, but was there a bit more of a working together, ERS harvesting and tyre saving going on?
Oh yeah, that was the plan. After I saw that, I think it was Dean who, I think Spawn wasn't 100% sure what happened there. I think me and Cameron were just trying to, well, we were both trying to get, we were both trying to set up a move, like, towards the end of the race, but then Cameron did a cheeky move and let me by, and after that I was just thinking, you know, trying to just get away, and obviously he had his puncture and last few knots. So yeah, the whole tactic was just try and get away from everyone else and just sail on 1-2 first of all. 'Cause I think the team comes first always. So yeah, that was really it.
The only thing I just want to add on to that as well is your reaction to what happened to your teammate.
How he drove up the PT on never know.
That's sorted. And the final question to the Peria, Mercedes. China next week. Panicking a bit? Looking forward to it?
I hate China, so no.
I don't really like it either, but I feel when I did Arc, I actually felt comfortable in the new game on it, but I still don't like the track. I still despise it, but it's a little bit more drivable on this new game, in my opinion. So yeah.
Right, I think that's it then. I don't really have anyone else to say any more questions, but again, congratulations to the top 3. Any trial activity for the next week. If you enjoyed what you saw here today, be sure to head over to the Div 2 channel. They will be taking on Bahrain next Thursday. As for the Rally Championship, first round for Monte Carlo happening this Tuesday, but you will have basically your week to get your times in. And I said Division 1 heading to round 2 the Chinese Grand Prix next week. Just trying to have a quick look at the weather. Or at least predicted weather. Gotta love a few scattered thunderstorms, haven't you?
Not great.
So potentially a wet Chinese Grand Prix next week. Just before I round out, I do want to say, Gamey, looking forward to seeing you again next week, and have a really, really good birthday tomorrow, man. That's it from Division 1. We'll see you next week at China.